Hi, everybody, and welcome again to the Battle for a Healthy Voice. This is going to be a really fun video. And I think it has to do with a guy named Louis Tomlinson, which some of you may have never heard of, but boy, he's really successful. Came from One Direction. By the way, our podcast, our host and our producer is none other than Sunny Galt. And I'm turning it over to her right now. Here's Sunny.
Thank you, David. Thank you guys for checking out our YouTube video. If you guys see my dog walking around in the video today, this is Sadie. I have a feeling she's gonna make an appearance. I might as well introduce you guys to her now. All right. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. A lot of you guys have done that. I get tinged whenever someone subscribes to our YouTube channel. And so I've been getting a lot of those lately.
And man,
it's kind of nice.
That Christina Aguilera one we did last couple weeks ago and let go last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wow. Over 60 positive comments. One of them was young, even said, "Good job, Grandpa. You really know how to tell tell a good voice when you hear one."
Yeah.
Well, the truth is that we've had almost 100 subscribers in 1 week, where it took us 4 months to get up to just 300
There
and some.
is something with the algorithm, though. So once you start getting more and more subscribers,
what is that
they
called?
Open it up. It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. Yeah.
So here we go.
So here we go. Hopefully Louis Tomlinson will be another popular one. So truth be told, when David said he wanted to critique him, I was like, who's Louis Tomlinson?
But
I
got introduced to Louis Tomlinson about 2 months ago because I have a young student who's 13 taking guitar.
Okay.
And his name's Josh Porter, and he has gotten so good on the guitar, if he wasn't scared to be in public, you and I are comfortable with that, he could be a lead player as good, because he is. He's as good as the Eagles' lead player now.
Wow.
And he's 13. He's been taken from me almost 6 years. Get at it, Josh. You've got it. You can do this. But he told me the song he wanted to learn about a month and a half ago was by Louis Tomlinson. I said, well, that's great. Who's Louis Tomlinson? Well, Louis Tomlinson put out 2 songs that some of you younger people know, because you may have even bought, downloaded, whatever.
Sure.
Habit and Always You. We're doing 2 different songs today.
Yeah. So I've heard of One Direction before, and we were kind of researching and learned a little bit more about
how does Louis relate to that?
Well, so he was in that band before
that's how he started out?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I remember in history, I read up in 2010 on the X Factor in Britain.
Yeah.
Louis was trying to be a soloist, and he got eliminated. But then Simon Cowell got the idea to put 4 of the singers together. 4, right?
Yeah.
Was it 4? And they became the most popular boy band in the history of recorded music, One Direction.
Well, it makes you wonder why he left, but that's probably a whole other story. If you guys know that story, leave it in the comments. I would be very interested. But you do see that pattern where people start out as a group and then eventually start to do
we
solo
all have
stuff.
our own personalities and our own walk in life. And music is a great part of our lives. I was a national, international performer. Do you remember This Land Is Your Land? I was the leader of that group about 45 years ago. But I have to tell you, in the 3.5 years I was in the group, did I get along with everybody?
No.
Oh my. One guy got in the group and he was a good arranger, and I arranged, but we arranged so differently that finally on the airplane one day we agreed, hey, you know what? We just do not get along, but you do pretty well with your arranging, and I do really well with mine. It's totally different. You don't like mine, I don't like yours. We don't have to talk to each other. We just perform on stage, do the arrangements.
That's got to be really hard.
And it happens. I remember in the Christies once, go back and look it up, a group called Glenn Yarbrough and the Limelighters. We were performing, and we got to meet the Limelighters. You're probably too young to remember
I've
them.
never heard of them.
But they were very famous. Glenn Yarbrough and the Limelighters, his big song as a soloist was Baby, the Rain Must Fall. Anyway, I got to meet him and talk to him. We said, where's Glenn Yarbrough? He's the lead singer for your group. Well, they were having a fight. And the music director for the group was Ed Rathbun, and he left the group because when I came in, Sid from the Christies realized, he's the owner of the Christies, he realized I was a music major and I had directed groups. So he came back because he was just on the pay, but he wasn't doing any work while they were fighting, not performing at all. And he came in and taught me how to be a music director. And that's when I met Patty Cohenauer, who was the lead for the original Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Do you get the feeling that he's name dropping right now?
I am doing name dropping. It's just one of those days.
But for a different generation, most of the people watching this video are like,
they're all going, yeah, Glenn Yarbrough, who? The Limelighters, who? Eddie Rathbun, Who? Patty Cohen-Howard, the Phantom of the Opera? Who? Oh, don't. I won't go any further. The gal standing next to me was Rebecca Hutton, who happened to be backup vocalist for Christopher Cross. Who? When You Get Caught Between the New Moon and New York City.
I know that song.
Let's
I do
continue.
know that song. Okay, Louis Tomlinson. All right, the first song that we're going to listen to is called Miss You, and this was recorded in 2017, at least this live version.
And my wife, Kathy Mangione Moyer, told me today she's listened to quite a bit of his now to get ready, and she said he's the new Jason Mraz.
Oh.
And he's really good. He reminds me of Jason Mraz style. Okay.
Let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
Is it my imagination? Is it something that I'm taking? All the smiles that I'm faking. Everything is great, everything is great. Going out every weekend, staring at the stars on the ceiling. Hollywood friends, got to see them. Such a good time, I believe it this time. Tuesday night, glazed over eyes. Just one more pint or 5. Does it even matter anyway? We're dancing on tables and I'm on my face with all of my people, and it couldn't get better, they say. We're singing Tolasco and it's all out of tune. Should be laughing, but there's something wrong, and it hits me when the lights go on. Maybe I miss you.
Well, he's a good visual performer. Usually they are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effects behind him now with the, the fireworks and the whole 9 yards. I listened to him do 2 songs, Always, early in his career, and also Habit. And he presented those in a much more like a folk singer like Jason Mraz. This is definitely not that way. And what I really hear, Sonny, is I hear the beginning of that raspy sound. You can hear it coming out of his throat. He's using a lot of compression. His muscle usage is quite thick, and it's way beyond, not into what we call screaming, but he's definitely into what we call kind of light to moderate yelling. And as a result, that will take its toll, and I don't know how much longer he's going to last before most of the sound will sound like Janis Joplin when she's going, me and Bobby McGee. If you don't know what I mean, look it up. Listen to Janis Joplin. Watch her on a live performance. It really begins to sound like their voices being torn apart. Now, he's still got clarity.
He does.
But there is some scratch in there. So right away, he's got to be careful. We want him to have vocal health. I'd like that guy to be singing in 2030. Well, we learn either how to treat our voices with better health, or we end up like, unfortunately, Adele, who had to cancel her tour because of her voice about 3 weeks ago for the second time. And who knows if she'll be singing again. She's had 11 surgeries. This type of voice, continuing to sing this way without any pause for rest, will most likely manifest itself in either having to cancel the tour eventually or surgery, taking a pause and then coming back at it. He needs to use a lighter production, which if you listen to him in Always You and Habit, mainly Always You, he is using a lighter production.
Okay.
This is
It's a little bit different style.
Yeah, it's a heavier sound.
Okay.
And it's not scary, but I would suggest to him and whoever manages him, get him a vocal coach that understands tone riding on the breath, bel canto, okay?
So no vibrato.
No vibrato.
And I feel like the stances were very short, right?
Yes.
There wasn't even a chance to really hold out the note.
No, there's not even a long phrase.
No.
It's very choppy, but maybe that's the style of the song. Because when I hear the next one, let's hear if he does longer phrasing. This sounds a little bit like something between what's the new sound they call it? I know it's rap. That's very old. But then there's a sound of today. I think they call
Not like
it
a hip hop.
hip hop.
Hip-hop.
This sounds like something between rap and hip hop.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Because it's got that poppy short.
Or more like
pop
between
pitches.
rock and hip hop.
Yeah,
you mean?
that more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
Yeah,
I see that.
not that Mick Jagger hip hop sound. I mean,
No.
rock sound.
Right.
But it does have that flavor.
I mean, he's kind of poppy too. There's a little bit of pop in there as well. It's not like a hard rock.
If you want to hear what I mean in terms of kind of hip hop, or take a listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire is not hip hop.
No, but listen to them do some of their styling. It sounds at times like maybe hip hop got some of its birth from their style.
I see what you're saying.
Got the birth from it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's check out the second video from Louis. This is called Perfect Now.
Okay.
And this was recorded in 2021, so just last year.
Oh, just last year. Good.
Yeah.
So we'll hear what happened in 4 years. 4 years.
Okay.
And I can tell you, in 4 years, I'm going to venture to say he probably did at least 400 concerts. Because typically when I used to be in show business, we did 200 plus concerts a year.
Well, but we had COVID.
That's true.
That time.
But he still might have done online concerts like Neil Sedaka. Who knows?
Yeah.
You got a good point.
Let's check it out.
All right.
You say to me, your tears don't fit, you don't feel pretty, and it's hard to miss. I wish that you could see my point of view. There's someone staring back at you on Friday night. We're all out, turn to you, and you're looking down, and you don't want to dance. I know you love to dance. You never stop, giving half the chance. Just keep your head up, love, keep your head up. Or hide away, don't ever change. Sing! Cause everybody's looking at you now. My, oh my, I guess some queens don't need a crown. And I know why, even when your tears are falling down, still somehow you're perfect now.
How old is he in this video?
I have no idea.
Let's find out, when was he born? I'm going to look that up real quick because that has a lot to do with what's happening, because he's still very young.
Yeah, he is very young.
How old is Louis Tomlinson? Siri's going to tell me.
Hopefully.
Okay, Louis Tomlinson was born December 24th, 1991.
91.
So he's...
Quick math.
Oh, he's 32.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on there, if you listen to Always You, or just go back to the beginning of his career, if you can, try to find the X Factor from 2010. This guy is using moderate compression, okay? He's has no vibrato whatsoever. And again, much like we just talked about in his early song, he's not doing much long phrasing.
No.
He's not holding notes very long. He's got a lot of tension in his throat, and I hear that his bands are getting stretched out. When he went soft in a couple of spots, it was soft, but it was also full of air. And a voice should have breath in the tone, but it should never be breathy. The only time that it would be allowable to be breathy is someone who has consistent allergies, because it keeps the bands kind of rough. And I have a student, her name is Berkeley Graham, studied with me over 2 years. She sings very well, but when she sings and speaks, it's usually very kind of hi David, because she can't do it clear. If she was to do it clear, which happened to me, and I didn't take the allergies into account, even though my first ear, nose, throat specialist told me, don't do that. And I did it. I squeezed the bands to get clear, and then over time, they were damaged. This man needs to actually, in my opinion, and I'm being a professional coach, and my father was a master surgeon, and I was in pre-med, Louis needs to take a break. He needs about a 6-month hiatus.
Except he's about to go on tour, isn't he, in 2022?
Well, he has a world, yeah. So he went on tour. So I hope he took a break. But I just listened to his tour, and his voice is even tighter, and you can see him reaching that, how that jaw starts to kind of like when we do Ariana Grande in a couple of weeks, you'll see that jaw and how the neck starts to go up because, just to let you know, the more you compress and you sing when you're younger, and he's still younger, and he's only 32, but a rubber band, when it's new, you stretch it and it goes boing, 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 boing. If you keep stretching it, pretty soon it starts to lose some pitch, gets longer, and it goes boing, 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 boing. And then it's boing, 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 boing. Pretty soon it's the Liza Minnelli effect. What's the one she loves to do? Life is a cabaret, old chum. And you get that terrible tremolo. Just unfortunate. Bette Midler's the same thing now. I don't know if that's recoverable because I've never gotten to work with someone who stretched it and then tried to recover it. The bands just might be too stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he needs to take a break. And he's on his 2022 tour. And I know lots of people are loving him. I get it. He's a great visual performer. He's got a lot of heart when he sings.
Yeah.
But you better, if you're commenting to any of his videos, you might say, you heard from a really good professional coach. He needs to take a break because I've listened to his 2022 tour. He's going to have trouble with that voice pretty quick.
I feel like he has a little bit of that Ed Sheeran charm when he sings.
He does.
And obviously his audience loves him. He sings these songs that are very singable, like, you could just grab someone's arm in a bar and
yeah, and the truth is, and they do, and we hear everybody singing in the audience, and most of them are using whatever they use to make a sound, and it sounds to me, because I come from a time when we used to have hootenannies, that was sing-alongs. The whole school,
what was it?
Well, a hootenanny was actually a group of people, like the whole high school would get along, and we'd have people playing guitars, and we'd sing the songs, but the voices were much gentler then. And like today, when the crowd joins in, they just use whatever they got. Well, they've been seasoned for their entire lifetime to use that thick, heavy vocal production. So it sounds like they're yelling along with Louis, kind of in tune, but they actually sing yelling louder than him. They're having a great time. I get it. But you guys, that voice, that person you love, you better tell him to take a break and get some good vocal coaching because he just might not be there like Adele pretty soon.
Yeah.
It may break on him. I can't guarantee it. He has a good, strong voice.
Yeah.
People have shortened careers when they use a thick compression. And that's just part of life. Take it from me.
But do you really want to take that chance? That's the thing. I mean, do you really want to take that chance of harming your voice?
Yeah, in other words, are you only interested in a short career and a lot of money?
Yeah.
Or would you like to sing maybe when you're 75 years old or 60 years old to your grandchild or your kids?
Well,
and say, I love to sing.
I guarantee a lot of these people don't think that their careers are going to be shortened. It just happens.
Right. And you know what? The managers and the agents, they're the ones who need to listen really hard to what I'm saying. Because I was on stage with a lady, Patty Cohenhauer, who was the original Broadway lead for Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, and she was on Broadway for 30 years and got nominated for a Tony Award. Can she still sing? Yes, beautifully. And she's almost 70.
Wow.
She helps me with some of my students occasionally. We do online.
Cool.
And you got to understand, she sings healthy. That's why she can still sing at 70.
Yeah. So if you guys want to sing healthy, check out our website, purebelcanto.com. Keep watching these videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that little bell so you know when our new videos come out each week.
And I got one thing to add.
What?
If you want to hear health and how long it will last, look up 96-year-old woman sings Panis Angelicus, Panis. Panis? I think it's Ian Angelicus. Just say that. It should self-correct.
It should correct.
It's Latin. But listen to her. She's 96, and she has a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
A lot
That's
of
amazing.
subscribers.
That's incredible. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Go have a hootenanny.
Yeah.
But be careful.
Sing along.